I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. Micah chapter 3. Now, this will start a new prophecy. Chapters 1 and 2 were a prophecy by themselves. This starts a new prophecy. Chapters 3, 4, and 5 together make up a second prophecy of Micah. Let us read this. Priests who teach for hire and prophets who divine for money bring a curse upon the people. And I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them, and their flesh from off their bones, who also eat the flesh of my people, and flay their skin from off them, and they break their bones, and chop them in pieces, as for the pot, and as flesh within the cauldron. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. In other words, you're being judged by God because you have been unrighteous judges. You should have had good judgment because you had God as your model, but you're evil judges, and so God's going to judge you. Verse 5. Thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, Peace! And he that putteth not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. Therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of God. This is talking again about apostasy, about cutting off divine communication. When it says, there shall be, therefore night shall be unto you, darkness, that ye shall have no vision, that ye shall not divine, the sun shall go down over the prophets. There will be no more light, there will be no more knowledge, no more visions, no more prophesying. God's going to cut off all divine communication. Verse 8. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. Hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. They build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord, and say, Is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountains of the house as the high places of the forest. Then this is what's going on in Jacob and Israel. They're saying, look, we follow God, we worship God. He's going to protect us. And yet at the same time, they are in direct violation of the law of God, because instead of delivering the word of God, they are teaching for money. They are telling the people what they want to hear in order for the people pay them to preach good things, to not correct them, to tell them that they're doing good. And because of this, God has rejected them. And look, God doesn't care about these outward signs, these sacrifices. It's the same kind of thing that we read in Hosea, is that the outward performance is meaningless if you're not obedient to the law. If you're not living righteously and faithfully to God, it doesn't matter how many sacrifices you make. In the modern day, you can say, if you're not living in unity with God, if you're not following Him, if you're not living in faith, it doesn't matter how many times you go to church. It doesn't matter how many times you take the sacrament. It doesn't matter how many talks you gave, what callings you hold in your local ward and state. None of that matters unless you are faithfully following the gospel. The outward show is meaningless without the inner faith. Anyways, pick this up in the next one.